find the place where you want to start. If you're using music, we're muted, so you can press play on any kind of playlist you want. Obviously, you don't have to. You can just be in your own space. And if you want to be lying down, that's never a bad shout. You feel like you've been a bit beaten up by the week already, or you can stay seated if that's your preference as well. And take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, just to reset. And see if it might even be helpful to kind of let the rest of the day go, to even kind of say to yourself as you inhale, let, and as you exhale, go. We can do that a few times. You might start to feel the weight of the shoulders softening, sliding down from the ears. And smooth the muscles across the face, unclench the jaw. Really start to create a comfortable, safe space for your practice today. And how is it that you feel physically? How is it that you feel mentally? Where are you carrying tension? Where might you be able to release some of that, to let it go? Or to work through it? For the rooting of your sit bones into the ground beneath you. Maybe even the full length of the back if you're lying down. I know that you don't need to move an inch. There's nothing you have to do. Nowhere that you need to be. All you needed for the next hour is to just be here on the mat, observing your breath. That would be completely fine. And if there's a particular intention that you want to bring to practice today, somewhere you want to direct your energy, you can take a moment just to sit with that, continuing to observe your breath. And then I want you to take a really big breath, fill the belly, draw upward. And let it go. You can take another if you like. And then start to fold the knees into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze in. If you're lying down on the back, this can be your start point to rock and roll slowly up towards a seated position. And then once you're grounded, you might want to sit cross-legged like me, you might want to sit in another way, but whatever's comfortable for you is a good place to start. Relax shoulders back and draw up tall from the navel. Feel really rooted through the sit bones. And as you next inhale, reaching all the way up and open, you might even lift the gaze to the thumbs. And as you exhale, turning to the right, reach that right arm back behind you and reach fingertips slowly, smoothly toward the floor. You might even take that left hand to that outer thigh, draw the shoulders back, inhale, pull up through the belly, and as you exhale, spiraling open to the side. Try not to lean too much weight into that back hand. Try and really hold yourself upright with the core. You might find as you exhale that there's a little bit of space to twist a little bit more deeply there. Let's see how it goes. One more breath here. And then as you next inhale, reaching all the way back up to center. Again, you can reach really tall, maybe even lift the gaze. And as you exhale, spiraling the opposite way. So reaching that left hand back behind. Right hand can come either in front or around that outer thigh. Inhale to draw up. And on your exhale, really engaging from your core here. Shoulders relaxed, not so much directed from the hands, but from that midsection. And then slowly start to breathe your way all the way back up. And as you exhale, bow forwards, press back through the sit bones, let the head hang. Hands can come to the mat. Feeling all the way from the tailbone to the top of the head. And from here, you can either walk the hands back in towards you, come to sit tall, and then tuck the feet to one side to start to come to hands and knees. Or you could walk the hands further away and rolling over the feet onto hands and knees and then uncrossing ankles behind you. It's just however you want to get there and whatever works for you right now. Press down tops of feet into the floor. Strengthen the shoulders and really kind of plug down into the mat with the tip of each finger. Inhale, long back. And as you exhale, rounding in, squeeze the air from the body, chin to chest, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, belly drops, shoulders peel back, chest opens, lift the pelvis. And as you exhale, rounding out again. And see if you can start to sync your breath and the movement together. So moving just kind of in your own sequence, whatever comes naturally to you as you continue to breathe. Take one more round. And then start to meet back in that nice, even, neutral spine. Start to extend the right foot back, toes come to the floor. And then keep that right hand grounding, but take left hand to the back of the head, elbow wide. And as you inhale, open up. Really send the elbow up and out. And as you exhale, round in, elbow to elbow, squeeze in through the core. Inhale to open up. And exhale to round back in. One more time. And exhale to round. Take both hands to the floor. Tuck that left foot a bit further out behind you. And then start to open out with that right side. Press the ground away with the left hand, left knee. Tuck the bum. Stack the shoulders and open out. And similar kind of movement here as you inhale, really opening the chest up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, giving yourself a little half hug, wrapping that right arm underneath that left armpit. And as you inhale, opening out again. Keep the glutes nice and steady, core strong. Exhale, tucking under. And then one more time. Nice. And then start to open on out again. Nice. See if you can start to float that back leg. Press out through that right heel. Keep those legs engaged, shoulders drawing back, everything really nice and active. See if you can extend that right arm all the way past that right ear. Create one long line from right fingertips to the right heel. And as you exhale, curling in, scrunching the knee and elbow together. And as you inhale, extending out. Really mindful with that movement. Keep pressing down out of that left side. One last one. Nice. Extending out. Keep the leg hovering as you take that right hand back down to the ground. And then from here, curling that right knee in, scooping knee to chest and starting to take that right foot forwards to your low lunge. And then shifting your weight ever so slightly. So right heel really grounding, top of that left foot rooting. Shoulders back, chest open. Keep that neck nice and long. Keep really rooting into the mat as you inhale. Opportunity to lift a little taller. Keep those shoulders nice and relaxed. Keep grounding down into the floor beneath you. Inhale to draw up tall. Exhale to twist, right arm reaching back, spiraling chest to the right with you. And then as you next inhale, sweeping all the way back up to center. Exhale, opening out to the opposite side. So left arm reaching back, staying grounded through the feet. Holding here for one breath. And then next inhale, reaching all the way up and back. And as you exhale, bow forwards. Nice hands around that front foot. Start to draw back with the glutes, lengthening through that right leg a little bit. You can walk the hands with you. So as they stack under the shoulders, you've got a bit more height, a bit more lift, room to maneuver. As you're inhaling, peeling up away from the thighs, shoulders back, chest open. And as you exhale, bowing forward, chest to toes. Inhale, opening up. And exhale to bow. And again. And then holding here for a few breaths. If you feel like you've got more space, you can always experiment with walking the fingertips a little further forward. That's going to draw you a little bit more deeply over the leg. Keep the neck nice and relaxed. Keep the core engaged, hips square. And then slowly starting to shift your way forwards again, coming into your lunge again. Tuck the back toes, lift that back knee. Left hand comes to the mat. Right shoulder opens up and out, really spiraling from the mid-back. Keep pressing back through that back heel. And then from here, see if you can stay grounded through that left hand. We still kind of maintain broadly this shape, but start to draw back through that right hip a little bit to find more length through that right leg. And then start to bend back into the right knee and sit into the hips. And again, drawing back into your twist and lengthen the leg, and then sitting back into that bend in the knee. So again, straightening, pulling back through the hips, trying to keep that chest still spiraling up, and then bending into the knee. And then both hands coming back down around that front foot. Reground yourself here. Sweep that right foot back through to plank curl, the tailbone, squeeze through the core. Here for 3, 2, and 1. Knees can lower or stay lifted. Hug the elbows in as you smoothly come down onto the belly. Tuck the bum, elbows tight, light through the fingertips as you start to peel your way up to your back bend, and as you exhale, bum comes back to heels, all that length once again, relax the head. Option to stay where you are, or you can explore more length through the sides by walking the hands over towards one side, pressing out through the hands, drawing down and back through sit bones, and lengthening that whole side of the ribs before slowly walking the hands back through to center, and then over to the opposite side. And every inhale, another chance to expand, to open space. And as you exhale, softening. And then from here, start to come forwards again, back to hands and knees. Nice, and then this time it's that left leg extending back behind, toes to floor. Keep that lift in the belly. Right hand to back of the head, keep that elbow high and wide. Inhale, opening up through the elbow. And as you exhale, rounding in, really use your breath. Your breath is kind of what's going to really help you, maybe to get even a few kind of little cricks or cracks. Really working that tension out. One more time. Nice, and then both hands back to mat. Tuck the right toes behind you a little bit wider. Right hand stays grounded as you start to open out through this whole left side, expanding upwards. Nice, and we're going to come for those same kind of little twists, but same but different. Inhale, opening out the chest, and as you exhale, giving yourself that little half hug, rounding in. Inhale to open out. And exhale to spiral down. One more. Nice. And then start to reach your left hand back to the ceiling. Option to float that left heel here. See how that feels. Option to extend left arm all the way past the ear. And then maybe even to add the little crunches, squeezing in with control. Seeing if you can manage 3 really controlled movements. Nice. Before slowly starting to spiral the hand back to the mat, keep the leg lifted, and then start to hug that left knee in, really scoop it tight, and then stepping that left foot through. And let yourself sit into the hips a little bit more. Get grounded here. Find your kind of comfortable space. Heel stacking under the knee. And then if you feel comfortable and able to, left heel can ground as you start to inhale your way up. Relax the shoulders. Keep that tailbone tucking. Really resolved through the lower body. Inhale, drawing up. Exhale, twisting open to that left side. Hold for one full breath. And then as you inhale, opening up. And exhale, opening out wide. Keep stable through the hips. Again, one hold here. And then inhale, opening all the way up again. And as you exhale, bowing forward, hands around that front foot, and then start to walk the hands with you as you lengthen through that left leg. Keeping some softness if you need to. Just finding a good base point and then taking it to your breath. Inhale to elongate and inflate, and as you exhale, slowly melting forwards. Again, if there's more space, you can kind of slowly ease the fingertips further forward. Keeping that lift through the core, keep that inward engagement of the thighs. And then slowly start to ease your way forwards again, back into your lunge. Nice, tuck the back toes. Press back through that right heel, really engage the legs. Right hand to mat, left shoulder opens out, really lift from the belly. Pause here, engage the shoulders. And then still planting into the floor with that right hand, start to pull back through that left hip a little bit. And then ease it back through to your lunge. Nice, draw back with the hip, keep that lift in the belly, that spiral through the chest. And then again, bending into the knee. 2 more. And then spiraling down, both hands come around that front foot. Start to step that left foot back. Find your plank, tuck the core, press back through the heels. Knees slowly come down. And then elbows tuck in, lowering through. Tops of feet find the floor. Curl under through the bum, and as you inhale, floating up, away to your back bend of choice. Exhale, bum back to heels. Again, any options that you want to explore, any kind of add-ons to your child's pose, you're absolutely welcome to. Or you can stay just where you are. So moving quite mindfully today, quite slowly. Really aware of where your body is in space, really aware of your breathing. Slowly from here, anchor the fingers to the floor, start to tuck the toes, and start to send the hips up and back to down facing dog. Keep those knees soft, let the head hang. You can start to pedal through the feet, releasing tension from the backs of the legs, the ankles, the feet themselves. Maybe even working into the hips if that's where you're kind of feeling any of that agitation or stiffness. And then from here, slowly start to walk the hands back toward the feet. Slowly folding forwards. Forward fold, head hanging heavy. Soften the knees as much as you need to. Keep the knees really soft. And as you press down into the ground, unrolling up to stand. Inhaling your way up. And as you exhale, hands come through heart center, soften up the knees, slowly melt through. Bend the knees enough that you can plant the palms. Start to walk your way all the way out. past your down dog, all the way out to your plank. Hold it here, keep that core tucked. And then slowly start to walk your way all the way to the back of the mat again. Soft through the knees where you need to be. And again, slowly unrolling up to stand. Big inhale as you open up through the chest. Exhale, relax forwards. And then slowly walking all the way back out again. Keep those knees a bit soft as you go. And then from here in your plank, see if you can keep those shoulders strong. Start to drop the hips just a little bit. Draw the shoulders back, open into the chest. So really similar to our up dog before pulling all the way back in. And then walking the hands back again. Again, soft knees, opening upwards slowly to stand. And then again, bowing. Walking it forward, keep those knees soft as you crawl forwards onto the tiptoes, onto the hands. Again, option to sink the hips, to draw those shoulders back, and then to pull all the way back in again. And then slowly opening up, last round. And bowing forwards. Nice, slowly crawling the hands all the way back out again. Keep those knees soft as you come forwards. And then you can keep the knees lifted or lower them down as we slowly come onto the belly. And again, inhale to your up dog here. Really squeeze from the bum and the core. And then sending bum back through to heels. Once again, pausing, taking stock, checking back in with how things feel here. And then start to make it back through to down facing dog. I want you to look forwards. Start to walk the feet up towards the hands, but really try and linger in each step. See if you can really squeeze that knee tight into the belly before planting the foot down. Just come as far as you can. And then replant through the feet. Start to take the feet a little bit wider. You can face the toes out, knees face out. Start to sit the hips low. Come into your Malasana squat. So you can start really kind of easy, a little bit kind of less heavy going maybe in the joints especially. Maybe swaying around from foot to foot. If you do feel you're able to ground through the feet, you can do. Draw up from the core, really elongate the whole front of the body, soften those shoulders. Drive into the heels. And then see if you can really strengthen and activate here. So press into the heels and start to actively press the hips a little higher. Keep that chest lifted and then lowering back again. So not lifting so high that we come all the way to forward fold, but as you drive down, engaging, sending the hips back and then slowly lowering again. Whew. One more, pressing out. And lifting and then pressing all the way back up to stand. Awesome. Heel toe the feet back through to center. If you're not quite at the top of the mat, you can step your way forward a little bit here as well. So spread the toes, re-ground into the floor. And as you inhale, opening up to stand, arms extending up and over. And as you exhale, bend the knees, sit into your chair. And start to take hands through to heart center here. Left heel grounds you. Start to lift that right heel, and you're going to focus your gaze on something really still and steady ahead of you. So you can start to squeeze that right heel in toward the bum. You might even be able to keep that knee hugging to chest as you come up to stand a little taller. And then slowly lowering back through, again, heel to bum. Maybe extending that right leg all the way back. Keep your gaze nice and steady still, heel to bum. Then knee to chest as you come up. And then one more time, extending all the way back. Maybe even extending the arms if that feels like a good way to balance yourself. And then drawing all the way back in. Extend the arms up as the knee comes into chest. And then replant the foot, hands come back through to heart center. Second side inhale, opening up tall, and as you exhale, sitting back into those heels, really strong and steady. Right foot grounds, you start to lift that left heel. Again, focus your gaze, really lift into the core, really engage those muscles there. And see if you can start to squeeze left heel to bum. Really engage those inner thighs. Starting to come all the way up to stand if you can. Belly hugging to thigh, ankle flexed. And then slowly lowering again. Squeeze the knees together. And then maybe you can even start to press that leg back. It doesn't have to be straight. And then again, drawing in. And coming up. And then one more time, extend the leg back. Again, you can get funky with the arms if you like here. And then drawing all the way back up to stand, knee to chest. And then take hands to heart center and replant the foot. And then you can shake off the feet. Stay rooted here. Inhale to reach upwards. Keep those hips pointing forwards as you exhale. Left arm reaches back, right arm forward. Spiral out into our twist. Inhale, drawing to center. And as you exhale, opening out the opposite way. And again. And again, center. And opening outwards. This time, inhale, arms extending up. Exhale, take it back through to your chair. Take hands through to heart center and start to pivot the hands over toward that left side. Press the palms together. Press down through that left heel. Start to lift that right heel. And see if you can squeeze right heel to bum. And extend the leg. And slowly land the toes back and then fanning out into your twist. Really nice and tall. Option to slide that back hand down the back leg. As you reach and extend that right arm up and over. Keep nice and steady through the legs. And then slowly reaching the left arm up to meet the right. Come back through to center in your lunge. And then start to spiral outwards. Right shoulder reaching back and outside edge of right foot grounding down. So finding your way to your warrior two. Tailbone tucked. Relax the shoulders. Sit into the hips. I'm just going to swap sides in case you have like a better angle on what's going on from this side. So start to take hands through to heart center and start to straighten that left leg. And then we're going to start to bend into that right knee and just sit the bum as low as feels okay right now. And then extending all the way back out, sitting back into warrior two. And then again, hands heart center, bend into that back knee. And then opening wide again. Nice. And then coming back. Nice. And start to reach the hands down to the ground and see if you can bend a little bit more into that right knee. Left leg extending all the way out. Sitting nice and tall, relaxing through the shoulders. It might even feel good to take a twist if you can balance here. Right fingertips stay at the mat. Left shoulder opening outward. Nice. Start to take both hands down to the ground. We're going to spiral to face the back of the mat here. So spiraling around toward that right side. Right toes pivot to the end of the mat. Back heel lifting. Nice. Sit back into your lunge here. So facing the wrong way. Shoulders back, chest open. Left hand back to the floor. And that right shoulder opening out in your twist. Really lifting out of the belly and the pelvis. And then taking both hands down inside that right foot. You want to heel toe right foot a little bit wider. Let that back knee lower down to the floor, or you could keep it lifted if you feel strong there. As you inhale, draw the shoulders back, open up through the chest. And as you exhale, drawing back through the hips, lengthening through that right leg. So you can come through this whether the back knee is grounded or whether it's lifted. We're in our lizard lunge, just kind of cycling space into the hips and the low back. Nice. So from here, next time you come forwards into your lunge, you're going to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and start to walk and pivot your way around to that left side, to the long edge of the mat. And again, here you want to level off the feet a little bit. Make sure you feel grounded. Inhale, lift from the belly, extend the chest forwards. And as you exhale, bowing. Head heavy, hips lifting high. Inhale, extending up and out. And exhale to bow. And you can stay with that movement if that feels good, or you can spend your time either shifting your weight around, maybe twisting through the upper body, maybe just hanging in stillness if that's where you want to be right now. 3 full breaths left here. You can spend them exactly how you want to. And then from here, slowly start to walk the hands back towards the left toes and pivot your way back through to the top of the mat. Look forwards, start to get light in those back toes, send the chest forwards, reach that right leg up and back. If it feels okay, you can start to stack that right hip on top of the left. You might even spiral that right hand up as well, finding your half moon balance, engaging those inner thighs. And then slowly release down, hands under shoulders, hug that right knee in. Replant that right foot as you bow forwards. Soften up the knees, inhale, opening up. And exhale, hands coming through to heart center. And again, from the top here, staying nice and rooted. Sweep the arms forwards, sit back into your chair, hands to heart center. Start to pivot over to the right side with the chest. And start to get light in the left heel. Squeeze left heel to bum. Start to take a big step back with the left toes. Land your lunge. And then start to extend out with the arms. Right arm reaching back. Left arm forwards. Really hold that twist nice and strong. Option to slide that backhand down the back leg as you open up through that left side. And then slowly start to reach right arm back up to meet the left, pivoting the chest forward to back in our regular lunge, and then spiraling outwards to warrior two. Again, you might want to adjust your feet here. Find that strength in the legs. Start to draw palms through to heart center, right leg straightens. Then start to bend into that left knee and just sitting the bum down. You might be able to lift the right toes. And then extending all the way out again, back into our warrior two. And then again, hands heart center, bend into left knee. And then one more time. Nice. This time you can start to slowly lower the hands to ease your way down. Breathing into that right inner thigh, into both those hips, sitting tall as long as that feels okay. You might feel able to balance here. And again, option to kind of add a twist here, left fingertips extending out wide, right shoulder opening up. And then slowly starting to reground the hands, start to pivot toward the back of the mat once again. Right hand comes to the mat. Left shoulder opens you out in your twist, the opposite way. And then start to lower once again. Hands inside left foot. You can heel toe that left foot wider so that there's room to place the hands. Back knee can lower or stay lifted. That's completely your call. Inhale, chest open, shoulders back. Exhale, pulling back with the hips, lengthening through that left leg. And again, just kind of easing through the hips here. Completely in your own rhythm, in your own time, exploring the space that feels okay for you. You might just want to linger in one of these poses rather than come between them. It's kind of all up to you. And then from here, start to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee and start to pivot your way around to that right side, coming back to that long edge of the mat. Adjust the feet so that you feel stable. Hands support the shoulders, and again, inhale to elongate, and as you exhale, bowing, sending the hips high. From here, slowly start to walk the hands around toward the right toes pivot forwards, lift that back heel, look forwards, get light in the back toes, start to rock it through, chest comes forwards, back leg lifts. If it feels right for you, you might start to spiral open through that left hip, extending left leg back, maybe even reaching that left arm up with it. No worries if you don't want to lift that left hand here, you can just play with that opening of the hip and then slowly folding down again. Nice. Relax forwards. Soften up the knees, press into the feet. Inhale, opening up to stand. And as you exhale, bowing through, bend the knees enough that hands can come to floor, step or hop back through to your plank pose. And then from here, knees can lower or stay lifted. You can come through chaturanga, or you can send bum straight back to heels and find your child's pose. Eventually from chaturanga, finding up dog, then meeting back in child's pose. Anyway, so we all meet back in that same space. And then start to make your way back through to down facing dog from here. And take 3 grounding breaths in your down dog. Set the shoulders, lengthen the spine. Start to reach that right leg up and back behind you. Hug right knee into belly. And tap knee across toward that left elbow. And then extend that right leg off and out to the side. Foot can come to floor. And then start to roll outwards through that left heel. Opening up to your fallen triangle. And then slowly pivoting back down. Pausing in that twist. So once both hands are grounded, taking a pause. And then start to hug that right knee in. And angle that right knee to kind of just past that right wrist. And start to lower down for your pigeon stretch here. Press through the top of the back foot. And see if you can sit a little bit taller here for a moment before we slowly lower all the way through. And again, we don't have to lower all the way down. That's kind of, it's just options we might tend to work through. If you'd rather stay more active, there's a lot to be said for a more active pigeon. So if it feels like the right thing for you now, you can slowly start to walk the hands forwards and kind of drawing that stretch maybe more into the back of the body. Trying not to hold tension in the body, trying to really let it go as you exhale. Nice and steady in your breath. Last 2 breaths here. And then slowly start to walk the hands back in. Walk the hands as close to underneath the shoulders as you can. And then start to tuck your back toes, lift that back knee. And as you press out of the mat, take your way back through to down dog. Nice smooth movement if you can. Take another moment to pause. You might want to kind of be pedaling tension away from the legs and hips here in your down dog. And then coming to those same movements on the second side. So starting to extend left leg up and back behind you, and then curling that left knee into the chest and then across to that right elbow. Hover here and then extend the leg out to the side. Keep pressing through both the hands. See if you can start to open that right shoulder up, roll onto that back heel and extend up into that fallen triangle. Lovely. And then slowly lowering both hands to the mat, pausing for a moment with that leg still extended in that twist, breathing into the low back there. And then start to hug the knee back into the chest and then extend that left knee a little past that left wrist and start to shimmy down to sit in your pigeon. Take a moment with you, draw up tall, engage those muscles in the glutes, those inner thighs. Keep pressing through the top of that back foot if you can to keep that leg nice and active. And then if it feels right, you can slowly start to walk the hands forwards again, gently folding the belly and the chest over that left thigh, left leg kind of area. And again, just those really nice, even, soft breaths here. Last couple of breaths on the second side. And then slowly start to walk the hands back in. Taking the hands to as close under the shoulders as you can. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and then press your way back out through to your down facing dog. And you can take a last kind of little shimmy or like walk your dog and release any tension that might still be kind of latent in the ankles and the legs. And then just really gently start to lower the knees down to the ground and find a child's pose for a moment. Take a moment to stretch out and to rest. And it depends how you feel. Child's pose might be somewhere that you are happy to rest for the next few minutes. You might want to find your shavasana there or a similar place. So you might want to tuck the feet over to one side or cross the ankles behind you and start to walk your way back to a seated position. And then from there, in your own time, lowering down onto the back. If you're wanting to add layers to stay cozy and warm, absolutely go for that. Make yourself as comfortable as you possibly can. Grab a blanket or whatever else. And you might just want to give the body a last little kind of squeeze or a wriggle, release any last pockets of tension that are there. Or maybe you're happy to just extend out and to come to rest. And allow the waves of your breath to carry you away. Feeling that sense of heaviness spreading from the top of the head, through the limbs, the full length of the spine, all the way through to the tips of the fingers and toes. And you can stay here for as long as you like in this safe space of rest. But whenever you're ready to reawaken, to re-energize, you can start to wriggle, to take small movements, to feel your way back into your body. And to draw the knees to the chest and give yourself a last little hug. And then slowly making your way back to a place of comfort, coming to sit where you can ground down. And take a moment just to take stock, to notice how you feel now. Maybe to come back to the intention you set yourself at the beginning of the practice. And take a last moment just to honor your practice, your body. And then to close, take a last deep breath in through the nose. And let it go. Thank you so much, guys.